So we try to make it as hands-off as possible for the customer, right? Obviously, if they reach out to us, we'll definitely help them, but a good portion of the time we're being proactive and we're usually reaching out to the customer, letting them know, hey, you had a security incident and this is what we did to rectify it. We do offer performance services for our customers. So performance is a very wide term, just like security is a wide term. We primarily use Patchstack, so we have a couple different approaches. So we do let our customers know, and this is free with the service, if their plugins are vulnerable or outdated, like according based off your database.
Got it.
And then we also sell Patchstack as a part of our security add-on. Keep your WordPress plugins updated. Look into your admin users. Don't use the same password everywhere. Just keep an eye on your website and your whole digital presence. And it's a very important thing, especially in the times we are in. So.
Hi folks, thanks for joining us. Today I have with me Zach from BigScoots. BigScoots is a fantastic managed WordPress hosting company that specializes in their human-first approach. So some of the things we're going to discuss today is threats to security and what BigScoots is doing to prevent it for their customers. So Zach, if you could give us a bit of an intro about what BigScoots does.
Like you said, we're a managed WordPress hosting provider, but we have a really deep focus on not just ensuring that the network and the infrastructure is taken care of, but also that the WordPress itself for the customer is functioning properly, it's fast, it's performant, and it's secure. So we're not just providing the infrastructure, we're making sure everything top to bottom is taken care of for the customer. So
that sounds great. And how does that work in practice?
Say a customer reaches out to us and they say, hey, I am having an issue with this plugin. Rather than just deferring them to the developer or the plugin support, we'll actually go through their website and troubleshoot it. We'll deactivate plugins, switch themes to the only staging environment and figure out the problem for them and give them better clues to fix the problem rather than just passing them off.
So in terms of the layers that BigScoots uses, one of the things we're always very impressed with at Patchstack is how thorough they are. So Zach, could you tell us a bit more what you do at network layer first for your customers?
Yeah, of course. So we have Magic Transit at our data center, and that applies to all customers, whether they're on Cloudflare or not, and it helps prevent DDoS protections, provide DDoS protection system.
Awesome. And then at the server, what's going on there?
We have a good set of rules we apply to the web server and on the file system and everything to prevent security issues from occurring.
Got it, yeah. And then for the application layer, and I gotta mention it, but you also use Patchstack. Do you use anything else?
We primarily use Patchstack, so we have a couple different approaches. So we do let our customers know, and this is free with the service, if their plugins are vulnerable or outdated, like according based off your database.
Got it.
And then we also sell Patchstack as a part of our security add-on.
So other than the application, the server, the network layer, what else do you guys do globally for the sites?
Yeah, so we're always monitoring our customers' websites. And a common occurrence, as you may see with a lot of malware that gets injected to a site, is that the site gets redirected to like a third party, some blacklisted website, and we'll see that redirect and we'll ensure to act on it to the customer and try to clean that up for them.
Awesome. So customers can sleep in peace, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. And how do they respond to that? Like, how involved are they in the stack?
So we try to make it as hands-off as possible for the customer, right? Obviously, if they reach out to us, we'll definitely help them, but a good portion of the time we're being proactive and we're usually reaching out to the customer, letting them know, hey, you had a security incident and this is what we did to rectify it.
Yeah. So now let's get to the point. Let's talk the actual threats. Zach, I know you got a lot of data. You do a lot of analysis on the types of threats you're seeing on these sites. So what are the biggest ones that are happening right now?
So one of the biggest ones, like I said, we were seeing plugins being compromised, and whether it's an ad placement plugin or a page builder, there's as thousands of plugins that have been spotted as vulnerable. Usually that they'll inject JS into like the header, the footer of the website, and whether that's done like on the index at PHP, or it's done with let's say an ad placement plugin. It's done in the ad placement plugin itself, code snippet plugin, could be in the functions PHP of the theme. I mean, there's a multitude of avenues that they can do that from. So that's something we see a lot. We also see, a customer had a developer that was added, 4 years ago, and they forgot to take them as an admin user from the site. Whether they just forgot or they're afraid to lose that content that was associated with that user. So, or they like that it's an author there. So in that practice, like the developer's email gets compromised or their password gets stolen, and they use it across multiple sites, and then a bad party will essentially access the site and do what they want with it. So in that case, we recommend our customers always audit their admin users, and if it hasn't been used in like 30 days, maybe even if there's content associated with it, maybe consider dropping that user permission to like an editor or an author in WordPress rather than keeping them as an admin.
It sounds like there's actually a lot of threats that you wouldn't normally think of. So it's to me at least, it sounds very detailed. Like you have to be thinking about everything.
Yes.
So how do you guys do it in a scalable way? What's the magic here?
So we do leverage Patchstack's database, and we let all of our customers know, like it's provided in our dashboard if their plugin's vulnerable or outdated, of course, and we try to push them into updating and keeping their themes and plugins updated, keeping WordPress core updated. That's really like our primary approach. But in a situation where the customer doesn't want to update their plugins, whether that's for compatibility, it breaks something, we do leverage Patchstack itself on their site. So we'll say, hey, we understand you can't update this plugin because of your theme or what have you, and we will provide Patchstack to them. So
awesome. And so far, how has that been functioning?
It's been great. We've had several customers where they really didn't have a solution. They may have built their whole business around this plugin that hasn't been updated for years, and for them to just reach out and redevelop their whole business is a big step for them. So just having something that can patch the plugin for them. As a hosting provider, we can't always control what the customer wants to put on their site, and it works out in that situation, whether they don't want to update or they just forget to. So
yeah, that makes sense. I'm glad we could be the first line of defense. In a way. In terms of best practices, what other things do you do at BigScoots? Maybe not necessarily security related, but what else do you do that stands out as?
Just overall, like we do offer performance services for our customers. So performance is a very wide term, just like security is a wide term.
Yeah.
So we're not just looking at TTFB or pinging or anything or latency. We're also looking at like their actual core web vitals. And we do sell a performance add-on where we'll go into their site and we will optimize like the JS to CSS. If they need a little tweak to their CSS or they need like a code snippet to adjust the preloads and things like that. So we really go in depth on the application layer for the customer rather than just like optimizing the server or the network.
Awesome. Yeah, so that is something that the customer can actually see right away.
Yes.
Yeah, it's that tangibility. And so how do you maybe... I think it's always hard, for example, in a sales conversation, to make tangible things like security if no one's been hacked in the past. Mm-hmm. So do you guys have a plan for mitigating these kinds of objections?
Well, we sell the security add-on to our customers.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's something, we can't force our customer to do it, but in the sales process, it's a difficult one. But I will say, anybody who takes security seriously and takes their business seriously, they're usually willing to commit to it. And we don't sell the product like just as like an add-on to make revenue. We're selling it because it actually secures the website for the customers.
Awesome. Yeah, I love the security add-on approach. Actually, yeah, it's simple. It's packaged with everything that they might need to actually have a secure site. They don't have to think. They don't have to pick and choose. Do I want a scanner? Do I want Patchstack? Like, you've got this. You can sleep at peace. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So any other insights that you'd like to share with us?
Keep your WordPress plugins updated. Look into your admin users. Don't use the same password everywhere. Just keep an eye on your website and your whole digital presence. And it's a very important thing, especially in the times we are in. So
yeah. And don't tell everyone that what your password is. For example, I always like to use Steve Loves Pizza 123.
Yeah.
So that's a thing. I mean, I'll change it after this. Thanks so much, Zach. It's been great to talk to you today.
Thank you as well.
Thank you.